Welcome to Rare Coins Numix, where we explore the true stories behind coins that often go unnoticed, until someone realizes just how rare and valuable they really are. Today, we're taking a closer look at a coin that came out of everyday circulation, yet has become one of the most talked about pieces in modern coin collecting. It's the 2000 Massachusetts State Quarter. At first glance, it may seem like just another quarter from the U.S. Mint State Series, but a few unique details have elevated some examples of this coin to an extraordinary level of value. The Massachusetts Quarter was the sixth coin released in the U.S. Mint's 50 State Quarters program, which ran from 1999 to 2008. The series was a major hit with the public, introducing new designs for each of the 50 U.S. states over a 10-year period. Millions of people collected them casually, just by checking their change. For many, it was the first time coins sparked any interest beyond their face value. Released in January 2000, the Massachusetts Quarter features a straightforward yet meaningful design. The central figure is the Minuteman, a nod to the Massachusetts militia members who played a key role during the American Revolutionary War. Behind the statue, a simple outline of the state map gives the coin a sense of geography. Above it reads, Massachusetts 1788, marking the year the state entered the Union. And at the bottom, the base state, the state's official nickname. It's a strong, symbolic design, nothing overly flashy, but rooted in American history. The quarter was produced at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. The version we're focusing on today was struck in Philadelphia and carries the P mint mark. While hundreds of millions were produced, not all coins are equal, especially when it comes to condition, strike quality, and a few unexpected varieties. Most Massachusetts quarters were handled, used, and circulated widely. They show signs of wear and tear. But a small number of coins escaped circulation entirely, either because they were part of original mint rolls or collector sets. These untouched examples have become the focus of serious interest, especially those that show sharp details, full luster, and no post-mint damage. Beyond condition, there's another layer that adds value: error coins and die varieties. In some cases, Massachusetts quarters struck at the Philadelphia Mint display unusual traits. These include off-center strikes, double dies, and misaligned prints, all of which can elevate a coin's value dramatically. While these mint errors are rare, they are not impossible to find, and some have been confirmed, graded, and sold for eye-opening figures. The importance of professional grading can't be overstated here. Coins are submitted to grading services like PCGS or NGC, where they're examined for flaws, luster, and overall strike quality. A Massachusetts quarter that earns a grade of MS 68 or higher is exceptionally uncommon. Fewer than a handful of these have ever received top grades, and those few are the ones that go on to break price records. One factor that makes the 2000 P Massachusetts quarter particularly collectible is its timing. It was one of the first coins released in the new millennium. That added a bit of historic importance, especially for collectors who track coinage by decade. It's a reminder of a turning point in both American coin production and public interest in collecting. But back then, no one really expected these coins to become valuable. They were made to be fun, educational, and widely available. Millions were spent and spent again, with little thought to their long-term worth. That's why it's so surprising to many people today to learn that one of these quarters, just a regular-looking Massachusetts quarter with a P mint mark, has sold for more than the cost of a brand new car. As time passes, fewer untouched examples remain. Many of the original coins have suffered damage, lost their original luster, or were improperly stored. So when one shows up today in perfect condition, it stands out. Collectors immediately take notice. Dealers watch bidding wars unfold over coins that, just a decade or two ago, might have gone unnoticed. In the case of the Massachusetts quarter, value comes from the perfect storm of factors: an iconic design, early placement in a popular series, low survival rates in top condition, and just enough minting anomalies to spark real interest. It's a coin that captures a moment in time, both historically and culturally, and that resonance adds to its long-term appeal. So what was the final price for one of these rare finds? A single 2000 P Massachusetts quarter, struck with precision, preserved in near-flawless condition, and authenticated by a top-tier grading agency, was sold for $64,000. That's right, $64,000 for a single state quarter that many people once spent without a second thought. It just goes to show how important condition, rarity, and a little bit of luck can be in the world of coin collecting. This isn't just about the money, it's about the stories these coins carry, and how something so ordinary can turn out to be extraordinary. Whether you're new to collecting or have years of experience, keep an eye on your change. You never know what might be hiding in plain sight. Let's take a look at another state quarter that's captured serious attention in the world of coin collecting, the 2004 Michigan State Quarter. This one might look like any other quarter that passed through countless hands in daily use, but a select few from this release have turned out to be anything but ordinary. While most people spent them without a second thought, some collectors have discovered examples of this coin that are now worth tens of thousands of dollars. The Michigan Quarter was the 26th release in the U.S. Mint's 50 State Quarters program. By the time it launched in early 2004, the series was already a household topic across America. Millions of people were looking out for state quarters in their change, filling coin folders, and casually following the release order. What made this particular quarter stand out, though, was its simple yet elegant design and the unique errors found in a very limited number of coins. On the reverse side of the coin, you'll find a clean, striking outline of the state of Michigan, surrounded by the Great Lakes. It's a fitting design. After all, Michigan is known for its freshwater coastlines, with more shoreline than any other U.S. state except Alaska. Above the image, the words, Great Lakes State, appear, celebrating a key part of Michigan's identity. It's not a crowded or flashy design, but that's part of what makes it work so well. This quarter was minted in both Philadelphia and Denver, and also included in proof sets produced in San Francisco. Today, we're focusing on the Philadelphia version, the one with the P mint mark. Like most state quarters, the vast majority were struck for general circulation. These were produced in massive numbers, and the average example saw years of wear in pockets, cash registers, and vending machines. But not every coin was created equal. Some 2004 Michigan quarters were struck with noticeable minting errors, flaws that occurred during the production process but were never caught by inspectors. These include double dies, die breaks, and off-center strikes. While most are relatively minor, a small number were so dramatic and well-preserved that they quickly caught the attention of collectors. When these errors appear on coins that are also in top uncirculated condition, the value can rise dramatically. Condition plays a huge role here. A typical Michigan quarter from circulation might be worth its face value or slightly more to a casual collector. But coins that have been preserved in original mint rolls, or kept in untouched proof sets, offer something different. If they're graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC and earn a grade of MS 67 or higher, they enter an entirely different market, one that rewards rarity, sharpness of detail, and surface perfection. It's important to understand just how rare high-grade coins are. Out of the tens of millions of Michigan quarters produced, only a tiny fraction meet the standards of mint state perfection. Fewer still display error traits that make them even more desirable. When both factors come together, a high-grade strike and a recognized error, the value of the coin can reach levels few would expect from a modern quarter. The population reports from grading services back this up. For example, only a handful of 2004 P Michigan quarters have ever been graded MS 68 or higher. These coins show no visible marks under magnification, strong luster, and full details. They're the top of the class, and collectors are willing to pay serious premiums to add one to their registry sets or personal collections. It's also interesting to note how collector interest in modern coins has changed. Just a few decades ago, very few people took modern pocket change seriously. Older coins, silver dollars, wheat pennies, and pre-1965 issues, got most of the attention. But today, coins from the late 1990s and early 2000s are getting re-evaluated, and collectors are recognizing that modern minting quality, combined with scarcity in top grades, makes for real long-term value. The Michigan quarter is a perfect example of this shift. Its design is simple, but it connects to state pride and national identity. Its wide circulation means most examples are worn in common. But that's also why the few that remain in flawless condition stand out even more. In numismatics, scarcity doesn't always mean low mintage, sometimes it means low survival in high quality. Another reason this coin gets attention is its place in the timeline. As the halfway point of the 50-state quarters program, it represented both the success of the series and a turning point. Collectors who began with the early state releases were now fully engaged, and interest in finding clean, error-free examples was growing. Yet few people thought to submit these coins for grading back then, which is why so few high-grade examples exist today. So how high can the value go for one of these? In one verified case, a 2004 P Michigan quarter, certified in exceptionally high mint state condition and featuring a recognized die variety, sold for an incredible $56,000. That's not an estimated value or projection, that's a real transaction backed by grading and demand. So if you have a 2004 Michigan quarter with a Philadelphia mint mark sitting in a drawer, it might be worth taking a closer look. Examine the details, check for clean surfaces and unusual features, and consider having it graded if it stands out. Because what looks like just another coin could be something incredibly rare, and surprisingly valuable. Moving on to the next remarkable coin in our lineup, the 2008 Hawaii State Quarter. This one holds a special place in the series, not just because of its design, but because it was the final coin released in the 50-state quarters program. It brought a symbolic close to a 10-year project that had already changed how millions of Americans looked at the change in their pockets. When Hawaii joined the Union in 1959, it became the 50th state, and nearly 50 years later, it became the final feature in this commemorative series. The Hawaii quarter was released in November 2008, and it stood out right away, partly because of its timing, but also because of its bold, culturally rich design. It wasn't just another state coin, it was the grand finale to a national collection effort. The reverse side of the coin features King Kamehameha I, shown extending his hand toward a map of the Hawaiian Islands. The state motto appears in Hawaiian, Ue mau ku ie o ka ena I ka pono, which means, the life of the land is perpetuated in righteousness. It's a deep cultural and historical nod, one that made the coin visually and symbolically powerful. Every detail on this coin was crafted to honor the identity and sovereignty of Hawaii. Unlike some other state quarters that feature animals, buildings, or landscapes, this design focuses squarely on people and legacy. That gives it a more human connection, a tribute to leadership, unity, and cultural pride. This quarter was minted at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints, with the Philadelphia version marked by a small P. Though millions of these coins were struck, very few remained in pristine condition. The intricate detail on the coin, especially in the king's robes and the island outlines, made it difficult to produce consistently sharp strikes. Even fresh from the mint, some coins showed signs of weakness in the details. Over time, most of the coins went straight into circulation, picking up marks, scratches, and wear. That's what usually happens with coins meant for the general public. They serve their purpose, move through hands, and lose their sharpness. But occasionally, a few are set aside early, untouched, carefully stored, and kept in original condition. Those are the ones that matter to collectors today. As with many coins in this series, collectors today aren't just looking for any Hawaii quarter. What sets a valuable one apart is its condition, specifically those graded at the highest levels by professional grading services. A coin that's been kept untouched, shows no visible flaws under magnification, and still holds its original shine is extremely difficult to find for this release. Even fewer exist with additional features like minor die breaks, doubling, or off-center strikes. These minting variations don't appear on every coin, but when they do, and the coin is in excellent condition, it creates the kind of rarity that collectors jump at. These features can add a layer of uniqueness that makes the coin stand out in any collection. Coins like this often slip through unnoticed in their early years. When they first come out, people don't always see them as collectible. It's only later, when the supply of high-grade examples shrinks and collectors begin searching, that their true value begins to surface. What's also interesting about this coin is its place in the market. Being the final coin in the series, demand stayed high long after its release. Many collectors who started from the beginning wanted a flawless Hawaii quarter to complete their set, but those are hard to come by. The design complexity, late release date, and economic slowdown in 2008 meant fewer were saved in top condition. And since Hawaii is far removed from the mainland US, its coin might not have circulated as widely or evenly as others. That's a small factor, but it contributes to how scarce high-grade specimens feel in the broader market. Some collectors say it's one of the more elusive state quarters to find in mint state perfection. The combination of cultural significance, clean design, limited top-grade examples, and steady demand has made this coin a surprising standout. Over the years, it's gained recognition not only as a symbolic closing chapter of the state quarters but also as one of the most difficult to find in near-perfect condition. So what's the value of a 2008 Hawaii quarter in top mint state condition, preserved with all its detail, shine, and sharp edges? One such coin, graded at the highest levels and confirmed to be in exceptional shape, has reached a coin value of $49,000. Yes, $49,000 for a single Hawaii quarter with a P mint mark. That it's a powerful example of how much a modern coin can be worth when rarity, condition, and collector demand all align. And it reminds us that even recent coins, the ones we think are too new to be rare, can surprise us with serious value when preserved perfectly. So if you come across a 2008 Hawaii quarter in what looks like excellent shape, give it a closer look. Examine the luster, check for sharp details in the king's figure and the island outlines, and if it stands out, it might just be worth a second opinion. Now let's take a look at a modern coin that continues to surprise collectors, the 2014 Arches National Park quarter from Utah. While most people associate value with older coins, this one proves that even fairly recent releases can turn out to be hidden gems, especially when condition, scarcity, and collector interest all come together. This coin was part of the America the Beautiful Quarters program, which followed the popular 50-state quarters series. Unlike the earlier series that focused on states, this one highlighted national parks and historic sites across the country. The Arches quarter was released in June 2014, and it was the third issue that year, representing Utah's stunning desert landscape and iconic stone arches. The reverse of the coin features the famous Delicate Arch, one of Utah's most recognizable natural formations. Set against the backdrop of the La Salle Mountains, the arch stretches gracefully, showing the balance of time and nature. It's more than just a landmark, it's a symbol of endurance, of weather and time shaping rock into a natural masterpiece. And for collectors, it offered something new, a departure from the state symbols and mottos seen on coins in the previous decade. The obverse of the coin, like all quarters in this program, features the familiar portrait of George Washington. But even with the same obverse design, the quality and condition of these quarters can vary significantly. What might appear as just another coin to most people becomes something entirely different under magnification and professional grading. The 2014 Arches quarter was minted at multiple locations, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Today, we're focusing on the version from Philadelphia, marked with a P. While millions were struck for circulation, only a tiny number survived in perfect, untouched condition. And even fewer have certain striking characteristics or error traits that can elevate their value dramatically. Many of these coins entered circulation immediately and were never intended to be collected. They went into cash registers, vending machines, and pockets. That's where they picked up small scratches, dings, and where that would prevent them from ever reaching top-grade status. That's why coins in mint state 68 or higher from this issue are not just rare, they're almost impossible to find casually. For collectors, the search for high-grade modern quarters is more than a numbers game. It's about attention to detail, finding that one example where the strike is clean, the luster is strong, and the surfaces are virtually flawless. The Arches quarter, because of its intricate design, presented some challenges for the minting process. The thin lines of the arch, the rugged background, and the mountain details made it difficult to produce consistently sharp impressions, that means most of the coins have areas where the strike is weaker, or where slight imperfections are visible even without magnification. But every so often, one of these coins escapes the usual fate. It's struck clearly, preserved immediately, and submitted for grading before any wear sets in. Those are the coins that collectors and registry set builders pursue aggressively. Another factor that increases value is the presence of recognized die varieties or minting errors. These can include double dies, die cracks, and other anomalies that are visible under close inspection. While not every valuable Arches quarter has an error, when one is found in combination with a high grade, the value can increase significantly. These coins tend to appear very briefly in auctions or private sales and often get locked away in long-term collections. There's also growing interest in America the Beautiful quarters as a whole. As the series wrapped up in 2021, many collectors began to revisit earlier releases. Coins like the 2014 Arches quarter are getting a second look, especially in top condition, because they're harder to find now than they were when first issued. And since most people didn't view them as immediate collectibles, the number of preserved examples is far lower than with older series like the State quarters. Today's market reflects that shift. Collectors are paying closer attention to coins that seemed ordinary just a few years ago. Coins like this are no longer just part of a set, they're becoming highlights in modern US coin collecting. That's especially true for those graded at MS 68 or higher, which represent only a tiny fraction of the total minted. And so we get to the question that always comes up: what's a 2014 Arches quarter actually worth, in perfect condition? A verified example, struck at the Philadelphia Mint and graded at the highest professional levels with strong luster and flawless surfaces, has reached a coin value of $38,000. It's a powerful reminder that even recent coins can carry serious value when rarity, condition, and collector demand come together. While most Arches quarters are worth face value, that one standout example proves that not all modern coins should be overlooked. If you have one of these tucked away, especially one that's clean, sharp, and uncirculated, it may be worth a closer look. You never know when a simple design struck in copper and nickel could be worth more than most people expect. Thanks for watching and spending some time with us today. If you enjoyed learning about these valuable coins, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on the next one. Feel free to like, comment, and share your own coin finds below. We'd love to hear from you. Until next time, stay curious and keep checking your change.